I am going to call order. This is February 20th, the Monroe County Women's Commission. My name is Susan Hingle. The commission shall serve in an advisory role to assist residents, businesses, and the government of Monroe County in addressing issues of gender equity. The mission is to advance the status of women and marginalized genders in all areas of county life. This is the approval of the agenda.
Do
I have a second? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved without updates.
Yeah.
If we have one, yes. We don't have to have an agenda.
Oh, the agenda. I was thinking minutes. Sorry, go ahead.
And then we're going to approve the minutes from
November 21st.
November 21st.
If you all remember.
Because December we didn't have one, so yes, we didn't have a meeting, so I could attend. We could take a moment of silence for Commissioner or Council Person Munson. And then last month I made a grave error in not making sure we had, forgetting the rules about in-person quorum. So these are the minutes from November. Do I have a motion to
Motion to approve November minutes.
I need a second.
I need a second.
All in favor of the approval of the minutes from November?
Aye.
Aye. Minutes approved. Commissioner updates. First of all, I would like for us all to, Liz will come in eventually, I think, and then I've not met Jody in person, and I would like to take a minute to go around and just introduce ourselves to Commissioner.
I'm Maria Douglas. I've been on the commission for, this is my third year, I think. And I am the outgoing vice president.
Awesome.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
And for everything that you do.
Well, I'm Julie Hardesty. I'm currently the secretary for the Women's Commission, and I've also served for 3 years on the commission.
I'm Molly Otto. I have been on for 3 years roughly as well, and I think I will be the secretary after this meeting. Yeah.
And I'm the chair. I've been the chair for 2 years, been here for 3 years. Yes.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to meet all of you. I am Jody Madeira. This is obviously my first year. Actually, my first first full 2 months as commissioner, and what a 2 months it's been. In my day job, which is now commissioner, and I'm also a professor at IU in the law school, and I do reproductive rights law and emotion torts, products liability, but with a specialty in reproductive medicine.
Thank you.
Light area, yes.
And for the past 5 years, I've been researching and advocating against fertility fraud.
Well, we are glad you are here. As we kind of mentioned before, this is the first time we've had a commissioner at our meeting since we've all been here. So
I will be here on a regular basis because this is really important work.
we appreciate that. And I'm going to say, well, we go through updates. I'm going to give my, update, and I have none. Well, that we have to redo a lot of our stuff because I just misunderstood things last month. But we are definitely all, and I know me, still learning a lot, even after all this time. I feel like, just even Robert's rules, which we try to follow to some extent, and we did reformat the commission last year in the sense of we added subcommittees to our thing. We divided them up in subject matters that we thought made sense to help us be more efficient in getting work done outside of the meeting times, which I think has been very advantageous, helpful. It's made things very clear. I think originally I thought we're so small that we shouldn't need that, and then I was like, well, no, I was wrong. So we did make that adjustment last year. Probably the biggest improvement we had.
Subcommittees are.
The subcommittees are, we have the profile subcommittee, the outreach subcommittee, policies, and data. So
Awesome.
yeah. We currently also have a vacancy. I know we have 3 applications, I believe, 4.
4.
So that's one of the things that I want to talk about in our new business is how in the future we want to go through that. A lot of our, it's very important for us to have diversity in our subcommittee in all things. I mean, all demographics. I feel like we're a lot of old, I don't know, a lot of the same kind of, and just getting some different voices around would be very helpful, I feel. So, that's all I have for my updates. Yes.
Happy Black History Month. I usually go through like happy, whatever month, and that's going to be my legacy, I think.
It's a great legacy. I love it.
No, I just made it up to say stuff. Okay, but what I said last month was that the state legislative session has begun, and there are some reproductive justice and education bills that are just wild and very pertinent to the Women's Commission's interest. I believe today was the last day for bills to come out of committees. So we will see what that looks like. I do have a personal update that your girl is now a working woman again, and I am working part-time as the development coordinator for PALS.
How fun.
I've been on a horse twice in my life,
Yay.
but that's gonna change. Apparently I have to learn how to saddle 2 different ways. Okay, but anyway, so it's just what I need. It's it is part-time and just lovely, very task-oriented, something that I really need in my life. So there we go. And I'm doing that while I finish up my master's in social work.
By the way, very cool.
Also, I wanted to mention that Hoosier Asian American Power has an immigration justice action hour coming up on March 2nd. And so I can share registration information, but there's going to be a brief teach-in about some of the immigration bills, and then there's actually going to be action taken. So we're going to do probably 2 breakout rooms, one to practice, kind of an elevator speech if you want to go and testify, and the other one will be for getting together some letter templates for emails and actual letters and such. So it would be lovely, and that's open to anybody. You don't have to be Asian to attend that one. But anyway, and then I also want to invite anyone and everyone to the NAACP Education Subcommittee, which yours truly is now the 2025 chair of. We have meetings every second Monday. And again, I can send links for the Zoom and such if people are interested. And then PALS at my new job, my new job, they have the main event coming up, Maine, M-A-N-E, at the IU Memorial Union, and that will be on May 5th, I believe. So ticket sales are open. So feel free to purchase one and come and hang out. Tables and sponsorships and all that are available as well.
I volunteered there many years ago.
I've never been, like, this is all new. I'm
Oh my
like,
gosh,
I'm
total
working
derby.
in a barn. I was like, I am literally a horsewoman now, just so you know.
It's right down the street from my house.
Oh, yay.
Well, you can say it's a stable occupation.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
You could say that.
We have a comedian amongst us.
in the notes.
That's so punny.
You can just say nay anytime you want. I mean, I grew up riding horses, so all the horse puns are coming out.
Oh, you're like, yes, I can use
Love
that
it.
material again.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love puns.
I,
Good and
I actually told my students that my grandfather raised Arabians, and this is almost a bit of an immigration story, and in Florida. And I forgot that not everybody is a horsey person. And I had this one student with a horrified look on his face, and he said, "Do you mean children from Saudi Arabia?" And I was like, "No, like Arabian horses."
The four.
Yes, let me specify that. We were in family law, so it was a, it was a predictable guess. But I was like, I can clarify that. It sounds awful.
funny.
Wow.
And I think that's all I have.
Commissioner Hardesty?
I don't have any updates as a women's commissioner today. I'm looking at the notes from last time.
Last month.
Well, no, I was looking. I'm like, other people did, but
Okay.
yeah, they're not here. So
I know I even had a moment of silence last time
Yes.
for
All
Commissioner.
very, yes.
Yes. Commissioner Otto.
I don't have any updates.
Also, we are missing 2 members right now, Commissioner Belton and Commissioner Roger, which I knew Belton wasn't coming. I didn't know Tiana wasn't coming. So we are going to hop to old and ongoing business. We'll go through the subcommittees. We have the policy subcommittee with Commissioners Douglas, Otto, and Belton, which the purpose is to elevate the profile of the Monroe County Women's Commission, who we are and what we support. It meets the second Thursday of every month at 5:30. I have an update from Commissioner Douglas, Otto.
It was, Julie, you said it. For the policy committee?
no, this is supposed to be the profile
Did
subcommittee.
I say policy?
Yes.
Oh, I meant profile.
Yes.
Profile. Oh, okay. What did I say last month? I said that, we had planned to make public comment at council and commission meetings, just kind of updating, summarizing 2024, and that did not happen due to just, life issues, and we are giving grace to ourselves, and we will catch everyone as needed.
I thought there was also, was there an issue? I mean, I don't know about how we gave. I mean, we had something brought to our attention because we weren't going to announce things correctly, or did we discuss that already? Or we not need to? That's fine if we don't.
I think what you're referring to is that the commissioners told us that, or through Molly Turner King told us that she was told that we needed to request to be on the agenda. And because we wanted to move in a timely fashion, we didn't want to go through all that, and we were just like, no, we'll just come and make public comment, and that was not okay.
Yeah, also, but the other one was approving activities that we wanted to do because I thought we were going to we were going to do another activity, and that got struck down as we couldn't sponsor. No, everyone's looking at me quizzically.
Oh,
So the note is,
they asked us if we wanted to sponsor something, and we said yes, we did. So then we voted on it in our meeting, and then they said we had to come back and ask permission to sponsor what they had asked us to sponsor.
the Bloomington Commission, right? Is that what you're talking about? They asked us? Or was it something, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Well, we definitely put this email. Oh, this is your notes from you and between you and Molly from
Oh, email.
November
Okay.
27th of 24 about including press releases and activity approvals about the proposal for activity should be discussed and voted on by us at a public meeting. This is not approving the undertaking of the activity, and that proposal should be made to the Board of Commissioners. And then we need to notify the Commissioner's office and request inclusion on the agenda. And then depending on what the activity entails, we may need a contract or MOU. And then we need to coordinate with getting that approved with the county attorney. Once we are notified of being on the agenda, represent us at that meeting and our activity. And then once they approve that, then we can move forward with the activity.
And so, Commissioner Madeira, I will just be transparent with you. So the profile subcommittee it was just to, elevate the profile of the Monroe County Women's Commission. It had been a little bit stagnant for a while. It had been super robust. Shelley Yoder and, Sophia Travis. I don't know if you were in town when Sophia was. Yeah, so, have been on the commission. Michelle Whitney Wash did a wonderful job trying to revive it, and she unfortunately stepped down because of I feel like maybe like bureaucratic things, and so since I've been vice president, we have kind of decided that we would rather ask for forgiveness than permission because we want to get things done. For example, because you heard all that, whatever, I couldn't even follow the process. Like,
Yeah.
And as you know, as we all know, politics, the political climate, things are happening so quickly, and we need to be there, and we need to be ready to respond. And so I would rather ask, we've gotten emails every now and then that, like, you probably should have asked for permission to do that. For example, we had a health fair at Banneker Center in partnership with IU Health. Our Jennifer Belton, another committee, that's her job, that's her day job. So she had the whole kit and just, could set up very quickly. We decided that we were going to model good partnership and communication with the city of Bloomington's Commission on the Status of Women, and we partnered with them on the women's market, and we are going to partner with them on the upcoming Women's History Luncheon. And so it's things like that. If the process is made very clear that we need to do X, Y, and Z, or A, B, C, D, okay, but we also need to be very clear about that because we get a lot of information from a lot of different people.
Well, I think some of the and this will be really nice having, you here and Councilperson Feidel regularly, is just that we are, by whatever the word is I want, we're supposed to be, not an action body. And we're supposed to be, have
advisory or...
Yeah, an advisory body. And we want to be advisory and action. And so I think that's just, that just gives us, that's what's important to us. We do run a coding camp, hopefully.
That's what I wanted to mention also.
Sometime. And, so we do things more than that. And a lot of that, is just also having more of a relationship with the commissioners and the council in the sense of how can we assist you? Because that is part of it too, is, hey, we need to really know, what's going on. You asking us, hey, we need to know X, Y, Z. Can you guys do that research or whatever? And then we're also keeping an eye on a lot of the, on the things that are happening in our community. We were very involved in paying attention to the jail and JFAC and those things. And so, that's really who we are, is trying to we want to be more of an action body as appropriate, I will say.
Yes.
That's a really good. Thank you for phrasing it that way. That's really good. And two things I wanted to mention is, one, that Monroe County is one of 3 counties that has their own women's commission. So we're under kind of the Indiana Women's Commission. You, Susan attended some meetings, a couple years ago. Molly and we went up to the annual, dinner or whatever, and we were like a big deal. I was like, what's happening right now? Why are we seated right here? But anyway, so that, and then this coding camp was kind of the Women's Commission's legacy. Michelle Whitney Wash, she was the one who started the coding camp. We participated in 1 or 2 years of the coding, 1 year of the coding camp. And then it became very murky in that IU said to us that we couldn't call it, and we were partnered with Luddy and CWIT. They had done it for 2 or 3 years, IB Tech. But then this, not surprising, this past year, whenever it was, IU came back and said we were being discriminatory against men to call it girls coding camp. And the commissioners were like, oh, well, we can't be discriminatory to anything, so let's not do, we're not gonna do it. And I attended office hours and I said to Penny, I said, that was very disappointing, because the statement that you read at the beginning of each one of your meetings, says that you will fight, blah, 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 blah. And so we've been in this literal legal, like back and forth situation.
2 years.
2 years. We
2
haven't been
years.
able to have it because we were being discriminated.
Well, it started with MOUs. We didn't have an MOU with the university, so getting it through the county, then
Which is
getting
fine.
it through IU is, which it was just all this things that were new, put in place, which hadn't been there before, which was frustrating. So
that's the background on that. So, and that's all I have to say about it. All of that. Okay.
It sounds like IU was sort of buckling down even before the political climate that has come recently,
yes.
which is unfortunate, I have to say.
It is unfortunate, and what was unfortunate also, was that the commissioners, and clearly you weren't one of them, they did not support us. Women, their own commission.
And what would you have wanted to see?
Thank you for that question. I would have wanted them to say, well, are we being discriminatory? Like, this is the Women's Commission. Girls and women in STEM are definitely a marginalized situation. So how can we do this instead of just, in my words and in my opinion, like just rolling over and being like, oh, they heard the word discriminatory. They're like, oh, we can't be associated with anything like that.
Well, I think, and part of the issue too is we wouldn't have turned away boys. And I think that was part of the issue, right? Is, them thinking, if we're only targeting it towards girls, and we're like, I understand but we wouldn't have turned away boys. So
I have a point with you.
In reality, to me, we would not have been.
So the Girl Scouts model. Girl Scouts don't turn away boys, just as Boy Scouts don't turn away girls. But
But
Right.
all the Girl
Each
Scouts.
is calling a particular group of children, but if a girl wants to join the Boy Scouts or a boy wants to join the Girl Scouts, they're allowed.
That's right. And so this is just background. This is just history.
Gotcha.
So it's not necessarily here or there, but that is some history. So
From profile? Okay. The Outreach Subcommittee with Commissioners Roger, Belton, and Hardesty. The purpose is to create and maintain programs that support our mission. Current focus is the web design camp. Oh yeah, we changed it. They meet on Mondays, but not regularly.
So that's what they already talked about is where we are with that. Girls Coding Camp has been renamed Web Design Camp, the Monroe County Women's Commission Web Design Camp. And then there's an MOU for Luddy's participation in that, and that's Tiana is working with folks over there to get that through. And I'm not sure where that is at this point, but that's what we know. We haven't heard from her that it's been passed through, but I believe the Monroe County side was okay with it, and it was just getting IU Luddy folks to say they were okay with it. So.
Commissioner Roger works at Luddy, so is helpful. So.
Very. And so the goal is to hold it this summer?
As soon as we can. We don't quite know yet when we can schedule it because this has been taking so long to figure all this out. So we don't have, we tried to say, we'll do it in this, semester, and it's been pushed and pushed. So.
We do it, yeah, the last time we had it in the fall. So we have it, they had it out at Richland Beam Blossom on a Monday, and then at Luddy on Saturdays, and then the Mill on Fridays. So I think that was the 3, locations. So it's just, yeah, because it's student volunteers, that teach the curriculum and all that. So we have to do it when the students are around. And it was a good event. I mean, we had great attendance that year, but so.
it was lovely.
Yeah. Anything else from outreach? No? Policy Subcommittee is to evaluate, with Commissioners Hardesty and Douglas, purposes to evaluate county policy using a gender equity lens. They meet the 4th Thursday of the month at 5:30. Any updates from?
So we've been working on what we're calling a gender equity rubric, and we've done a kind of a test run. It's been one person, me, doing a test run of it against an ordinance that was passed by the Monroe County Commissioners last year. So the rubric is constructed based on research that we did, looking at different ways that people are evaluating equity and gender equity, and then also based on policy phases and categories within those phases. So at this point, we have this test run, and Kathleen Sobiek, who was a former Monroe County Women's Commissioner, is no longer serving on the commission, but is actually still interested. So we're still trying to keep her looped in on updates that are happening as the subcommittee is working. So she might be volunteering and helping us with this as well. But right now, working on a PowerPoint presentation, some way to kind of give this as a summary, a report, I guess, to the Board of Commissioners. So does that seem like it would be appropriate to do that? And okay. So we're trying to explain where it came from, and then at that point actually share it and have it be something that's available. It's kind of it's not a spreadsheet, but it's kind of a grid right now that can be used for evaluating ordinances. Right now it's something we're running on ordinances that have already passed. But I think we're also considering how it can fit into the process of an ordinance being developed. So that's in the works, and I don't quite know if there's more that we can get into, when we're talking later on about the goals for this year and how things, what sorts of stuff we have that we're wanting to do. But
When we first came up with this idea, we kind of had a lofty goal of, okay, so the, county government whatever, uses it, but then it could also be maybe distributed to encouraged to be used by businesses to create their policies, and then they could get a sticker or something that said, gender equity rubric something or something something. Do you remember that?
I remember a brief conversation about that. Yeah.
Our lofty goals.
Yeah, very, very lofty.
But anyway, this is where we are.
Anything else for policy?
Yeah, I'm just contemplating, and this is maybe what we can talk about later on, but like, if we can get this presentation together, like how do we know that it's ready to go, and then presenting it to the Board of Commissioners, getting on the agenda, that whole process. We've not done that, so yeah.
Then we have data subcommittee, with this me, Commissioner Sobiak. Used to be on the commission with me, or on the subcommittee with me. Our purpose is to become more grounded in who we are through data. It is basically just creating, a very generic profile of, who we are serving.
And there was talk about doing a survey.
Yes, we've talked about surveying county employees, or because we have access. Yes. Well,
But yeah, we can talk about, are we having the work session after this, or
this
no?
is new business.
This is,
When we get to new business. I'm just, since we're between old and new, we'll just, with councilperson. Okay, yes. Joining us for a minute, I just want to give everybody a chance to do a quick introduction again, and I would like to say thank you so much for joining. This is a historic evening for us, having both ex officio.
Almost outnumber you.
I know, it's great. 2 members are missing, and we do have an empty seat at this time, but yes. Yeah, so thank you for being here. Does everybody want to introduce themselves real quick?
I'm Maria Douglas. I am the outgoing VP.
Vice chair.
Vice chair.
I'm Julie Hardesty. I'm currently the secretary for the Women's Commission.
Molly Otto, and we met last week. Nice to see you.
I'm Susan Hingle, the chair. Yeah.
Jody Madeira.
Yeah, I think I know you.
Well, seriously, this is so exciting. I hear we
Well, how
are one
many-
of the
how many-
active commissions, though. We are one of the more active commissions.
I keep hearing that. It was when I was involved.
Yeah. So, well, we're trying. We try. Well, we have some interesting history from being our size changing against our wishes a couple years ago. We were downgraded from 11 to 7 at the time, and that was done without not with our request, and certainly not with our consent. So that was frustrating, but that's a whole other story for a different day.
We're moving forward.
And we have been ever since.
Thank you for coming.
So where are you at on the agenda?
We're at new business.
Okay.
So new business is, so we had a meeting in January. I forgot we didn't have in-person quorum, which I forgot about because we don't usually have that issue. So we have to redo our election of officers, set meeting dates, and discuss goals and interests, et cetera, et cetera. So for new business, we will do election of officers. So I have been chair for 2. Should we do top down or secretary?
We did chair first, and then vice chair, and then secretary. Yeah.
So do I have a motion for chair? And then
So you're interested in continuing as chair? Yeah.
no. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that.
Well,
Yes.
I'll nominate Susan to continue as chair next year, this year.
I have a second.
I'm seconding that.
All in favor of Susan, of myself continuing as chair of the Women's Commission, say aye.
Aye.
No nays, unopposed. I will continue as chair for 2025. We have our vice chair, Maria, who has.
I am not accepting any nominations.
So I would like to nominate Juliet
I second
Hardesty.
that.
Do we have, okay, so Julie, do you accept your nomination?
I accept.
And so all in favor of Julie Hardesty being the vice chair for 2025, say aye.
Yes.
No opposed, unanimously, Julie is the vice chair, which leaves the empty seat for secretary. And I nominate Molly Otto as.
I second that.
I accept.
All in favor, say aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Awesome.
Okay, I have a motion.
Okay. What motion is it?
Remember, I motion to combine the profile and
We're
outreach.
not there yet.
It's right. It was actually before the election of officers.
No, we are set meeting dates, and then we do sub and goals, and then we're doing
Oh,
subcommittee.
sorry. I don't.
It's okay.
I'm
We
not
added
motioning it.
the work session things got
Okay,
added to this,
sorry.
so there's actually a subcommittee review, and you can motion whenever you want, but yeah.
Okay. We need to set meeting dates. We currently meet on the third Thursday at 5:30 here in the Nat Hill Room. Does that continue to work for all of us? Yes. Yes. I will send that to Dina and Angie, whoever it meets.
And I do know that we have March 20th already scheduled for this room. So we actually, for some reason, had this scheduled through March 20th for whatever was scheduled previously.
So this was a meeting that was supposed to be mostly about which we were calling a work session, in the sense of, so we wanted to look at what we were doing and what we wanted to do, set goals for 2025. So that's vague, but does anybody have any goals or interests they would like to bring to the table to maybe work into a subcommittee or structure of the Women's Commission or anything else?
I'm still interested in continuing the work that we were doing regarding the new jail and keeping tabs on what was happening there. Like JFAC was something we were following a lot and participating in, and that's not. It doesn't really happen anymore, and there's kind of some decisions have been made, location, that sort of thing. So, but there's still more decisions to make that I think will impact women and marginalized genders in the new facility. And I think having something something from the Women's Commission that is providing feedback on when those decisions come up, I think is important. Actually, I'm contemplating. I was thinking about the sheriff dealing with the lawsuit from the Indiana Attorney General about the standard operation policy that they have, and that the Attorney General saying that conflicts with what the state wants them to do when if ICE agents are making requests, I think, about information. So, and there's a lawsuit involved now. So I'm just contemplating things like that. Like, as a Women's Commission, could we encourage the commissioners or the council? I'm not sure which body it would be, probably the commissioners, to support and publicly support the sheriff in that lawsuit. And maybe that's already happening. I don't know, but just contemplating that sort of feedback, and how we can keep tabs on those sorts of things and continue that work. So, and policy subcommittee, I think, was where the JFAC work was happening, right? So,
Yeah. Well, honestly, if this continues, this to me is a game changer for us, in the sense of having ex officios here to help us navigate and to, really figure out how, we can work together to make sure and bring things to, everyone's attention, let them do their jobs and task us with our jobs, or if they're not, bringing things, to the attention, which to me is what we should be doing.
yeah, because I think that's been one of the things that we've had a really hard time with when we haven't had anybody present from the council and the commission, is to, when we have something that we're wanting to express, how do we express it to you? we didn't really know how to do that. So then it ended up being public comment at meetings and stuff, because we couldn't figure out, like, how do we fit this in? Where does it fit in? Yeah, so.
And my meetings, we attended every JFAC meeting and every whatever meeting JFAC was prior. We made public comment from a women and marginalized gender perspective at every meeting, and we were included in their final, our recommendations were included in the final report. Yeah, no, I agree. I would like to continue to do that work. And I'm curious, I know that Corey Grass is not the transition person anymore. Do we have somebody else?
No, I have not heard that there is a new transition director that's been appointed.
Is there going to be one?
Yes,
Okay.
that is my impression.
That would be awesome if it'd be a woman. I'm just kidding.
Because you know so much.
Because I know so much about the DOC.
Now you can riot into town.
What?
No, you can riot into town.
Oh yeah. Okay. Gala, I'd give you like 5 minutes stand-up time.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
Done. But nobody needs to hear my puns. Speaking of which, I have to, this is going to sound really weird, dress in a banana costume and then go to a law school event that I thought started at 7 but starts at 6:30.
Oh, no.
So,
okay. So will you, do you have any information for us?
yes. So I will be interviewing all of the candidates in hopefully the next week. And my goal would be to make a recommendation to the commissioners, but I'm also recording all the interviews, so they also will be available to the commissioners. And so I conducted one interview today, and I will do the other 3 if I can over the course of the next week, because I think it's always crucial to make sure that a group is complete, and I think in this current political and cultural climate, that completeness really needs to be as soon as possible.
And that's candidates for the vacancy on the Women's Commission. Okay.
Yes, and if you would like to see the interview.
Is it one vacancy?
Yes, yes.
And that's all you're missing is one?
Yes, and it's a commissioner-appointed position, I believe.
That's right.
But we have excellent applications, and so that's an embarrassment of riches.
I know, I'm filing that away.
It's one of my colleagues' favorite phrases, so yeah.
I like it. It's spreading, it's catching on.
But I guess now I'll make like a banana and split.
Okay.
Oh.
just doesn't stop.
You're fine.
Thank you so much. Thank
Oh,
you
I'm
so
so
much.
sorry.
Thank
I
you.
thought this
you.
No,
event
you're
started
good.
at 7, but.
Is the costume a horse? Costume.
Banana.
Oh, it's.
Don't slip and fall.
Oh my. This is an embarrassment of embarrassment. No, I'm just kidding.
Embarrassment of comedic riches.
Oh yeah.
I don't even think I know what that means exactly.
I on
If you are not, I will check our list to see.
because I
Probably because Jennifer was still on the, Councilperson Crossley was
yeah,
still.
Mr. Super.
Yeah, yeah. So,
If we can just make sure that my council address.
We should make sure Jody is on that as well, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will do that tomorrow when I send that into the meeting list into Dina.
that's so exciting that she's going to do all those interviews and we're going to.
I was confused. I thought she was talking about the transition person
I
for a
wanted to
second.
clarify that just to make sure I was like, that, okay.
Yeah,
But-
no, for
No,
this commission.
it's the vacancy
Yeah.
for this. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so anyway, I think that I would be happy to, I think Julie and I are staying on the policy committee, so I think that we want to continue that work, especially since we started it, to make sure that women and marginalized gender perspective is considered for the new jail, whatever that may look like.
Your equity rubric might come in handy.
You know, I would, this ship is I would love to be able to do some legislative work out of this commission, because I think that would be, one,
What kind of legislative work? What are you thinking?
that's a good question. I mean, just definitely like on reproductive justice issues and, you know, anything pertaining, the House 10 something, the bill that is banning transgender people from participating in sports, you know, things like that. I think that we could, but I'm not ready. I mean, I have that information already and I'm already doing that work in my other work. And I'm not sure we have the capacity. We have the capacity for that.
Yeah, and I'm also, I mean, I think it would be interesting to look at that, but then like we as a commission for Monroe County, for the Board of Commissioners and the county council, like what is it that we would be able to do in regards to like state legislation? If that's what you're talking about.
We could write letters and we could testify. Education.
I was on the.
Yay.
Remember, we did a few things on healthcare. We did a few things on. Always have an educational event. It doesn't have to be one side or the other, you know. Was when I was involved.
Let's just think about it.
Yeah, yeah, no, I
Because
like
I
that,
mean,
yeah.
I really want to get this this gender equity rubric wrapped up and out. You know, because you have been working on it so hard, and it's something that we've committed to. So I want to make sure we do that.
You partner with the Bloomington Commission on the Status of Women on anything?
We've tried and then we didn't do it right, I guess. Yeah, but yeah.
No, we got it. So we did partner branding wise with them on the women's market, and we do plan to partner with them on the Women's History Lunch. They're open to other partnerships also, and we've been told by our governing body, the commissioners, that we have to like ask permission and stuff.
do that partnering.
The partner.
Yeah, partner for events and things.
You need to seek permission.
Yep. That's what we've been told. Yep.
Well, and one of the things that, we do have, the good part about the relationship with the Bloomington is they have money and we don't. So, they understand that, we do sweat equity and, name recognition and, that kind of support.
Just
that we,
unity and
yes,
solidarity.
Unity. Yes. Like we have been to some of their meetings. They have come to ours. It's not as regular as it should be, but we have good relationships with that.
And now that we are establishing this commission for this year, we should probably get in touch with them and see what their commission is for this year, and if we want to have that kind of partner, that visiting each other's meetings again, because like people have to commit to doing that.
I will reach out to. Yes.
Okay, so as far as the policy committee goes, those are the jail and the rubric are the two things that we're going to commit to, yeah?
So I know this is, and it's overlapping, right, with the goals and interest and the subcommittee review. Does anybody else have anything they want as far as goals and interests for 2025, like to present or talk about now? Because I don't right now, because I'm really interested in seeing how having ex officios present, hopefully regularly, that it changes our focus, our workflow. I don't know, whatever, if it does or not, but I'm excited about that prospect. So
Yeah, I'm kind of this is almost more like a logistics sort of thing, like trying to put this presentation together about this gender equity rubric with the thought that it's going to be something we want to bring to a board of commissioners meeting, get it on an agenda, and how is it that I want to go about getting that put together and completing it and deciding that we're ready. Like, do I need to kind of test run the presentation here in a Women's Commission meeting in the public setting first and talk through it with everyone? Is this something that
I would love that.
As the policy subcommittee, we can just work on it outside of the public meeting that we have here? I'm not quite sure what a good way is to do that.
I think that we work on it in the subcommittee.
Okay.
When we're ready, when we think we're ready, then we'll come to this public meeting and show everybody else.
You do think we want to test run the presentation and talk through it here?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Does that seem like a lot, or I don't know?
I'm not sure I know what your goal is for the whole thing.
Well, we want to be able to present it to explain where the rubric came from, and then offer it up as a tool for the commissioners to use.
Only the commissioners, or the
if the council, if the public can use it, if the council can use it, just offer it, put it out there, essentially.
So it's something that's already been developed. Is that what I'm sensing?
Yeah, we've been working on it. It's potentially. I don't know that I would say we're going to be finished with it, but we would have something that I think is something that could work for certain cases, and then it could be used and modified however people would need to
It's been through one test run.
It's been through one test run.
Okay.
Very preliminary.
Okay.
Yeah, but.
And how do you see the commissioners or council using it?
Yeah, well, the commissioners is more obvious to me in constructing ordinances and passing ordinances and contemplating the gender equity rubric, doing that. So in the council, I'm not as clear on that for the council.
I'm hearing it maybe sort of like a litmus test, right? So you
Kind
have
of,
this
yeah.
rubric and you kind of are a checklist, and you kind of, does it meet this test?
Right,
kind of
and
thing?
it's not necessarily like if it doesn't pass, then it's not, it doesn't work, but it seems like it's a good tool to include, and it's part of the conversation.
Thought
Yeah.
to those considerations.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, try and put that together in a nutshell presentation offer the
I
tool
mean, the
of.
commissioners do more administrative, so the council does more budget, that kind of thing.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah,
it-
so I'm
it-
not as clear. Yeah, I'm not as clear on how the council would, potentially there's a way for the council to make use of something like this, but I'm not as clear on how that would work.
I
It's,
think you could share it with them and they could
yeah,
decide if they could use it somewhere.
right. So,
So let's work on the presentation in our subcommittee meeting.
okay. And then, yeah, but yeah, do you want to see it? So I guess we could do that here as part of an
would love it.
upcoming meeting.
I'm sure.
Definitely think we should do that.
To
Yeah.
show it here before we try taking it
Absolutely.
before the Board of Commissioners or the County Council putting it
Yeah,
out there.
'cause you're educating me, so, and Molly and everybody else, and you should be sharing your hard work and
And I don't, like, how do we make it publicly available? I know that we've got documents for our committee that are stored, but it's not like those aren't openly accessible for everybody. Is there like someplace that things like this
The
go?
question I would have, first of all, might be what other organizations or entities might you be able to partner with and maybe create some sort of a CATS played on CATS. I mean, CATS is, and these meetings are always played on CATS, right? So,
Yeah.
but, and you're going to be filming it here, as I understand, right?
Yeah, if I'm going to test run or try this
Have
presentation out
something-
here.
To
Yeah.
have something filmed under the auspices or whatever the title's going to be is much more searchable on the CATS database to find videos than just under the Women's Commission meeting, you know what I
Right.
mean?
So it would have to be kind of like its own separate event.
If you want it seen by the public, that's certainly what I would recommend, is see if you can, I don't know if there's other partners you've thought about working with on it besides your own.
Yeah, not yet. It's because we're still, like I said, we're still kind of like putting it together and figuring out how we'd want to even talk about it with the commissioners and so.
I don't know if there's value in working with other partners on it for you. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's something that we should.
I've been involved that long, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, that's something we should consider in the subcommittee, I guess. We can,
For me, I wasn't even thinking about all that because we decided we were going to create this tool and make it available. So our presentation should say why we made it, how we made it, what research we did, what reference, what citations that we, have. And then it's up to them if they want to use it or how they want to use it, I feel like. And these meetings are recorded. The presentation to the commissioners is recorded, and so we took it upon ourselves to make this tool and make it available to them. And how they use it,
Just if somebody was trying to find the tool, how would they specifically be able to find it if it wasn't featured?
that's right.
Yeah.
And that would be up to the commissioners to see if they wanted to post that on the women, we could make the recommendation that they post it on our Women's Commission
That would be perfect.
page.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That would be perfect. Might maybe even better than CATS in some ways.
Yeah, because that's a piece of
Because
work
that's
that
your
we
work.
did.
That's your
right.
work.
Yeah.
That's right. That's a great idea.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can figure this out.
Yeah, I have no
also
doubt.
it's not the same as a collaboration, but, sharing the work with the Bloomington.
Yeah, no, that was the first thing I thought of was the BCSW, the Bloomington Commission on Status of Women, if that
Or
was.
even, and then again, I have not, the Indiana Commission for Women, I don't even know what's happening up there right now, but, asking Jordan, to come or even to zoom in to our presentation, I think would be a good opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
And I think as long as she could, she would.
yeah. It's just,
And again, we made this tool. Here it is. Do you want to use it? And if it's up to you. We're not
Right,
saying that
right.
you have to use it, but now that we know that this tool's out there, it might behoove you to use it, to say that it's been through a gender equity calendar.
you left, so
Filter.
we don't know how to
I know.
speak.
Okay, let's
Thanks.
move on.
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing, not 1 second. So we haven't I think we spent a whole year last year without one speaker because we decided to get rid of speakers. You know, on a regular thing, unless it was pertinent to work that maybe we were doing, I think. Do we still want to say that that is our modus operandi? Wait, what's the, I don't know. I just think maybe for me in my head, it's just something maybe I want to keep in the back of my head in thinking about how we could invite people to help support or educate us on work that we're doing, maybe. I mean, now, so I don't know. I think that's something I need to remember regularly.
Yeah, I think with the subcommittee structure, we end up having things that we're focusing on. So if there is a speaker that would help with something that a subcommittee is working on, like if we are able to move forward with a web design camp, and there's someone that would be, you know, useful to have come talk to us about curriculum and curriculum issues or things like that. I think, you know, something like that could work.
For me, I was thinking about, I would like us to put out like an RFP to organizations or to the community about who wants to come and share their knowledge with us. Because if not, they may be waiting to be invited, right? And we may not even have them on our radar. So if we put out like an RFP, somehow we don't have a Facebook, they won't let us have a Facebook or anything like that. So I don't know how we would do that.
Well, allegedly we could post on, we can submit ideas to post on the county's Facebook.
But I feel like I would be curious what that would turn out, that if we're asking for organizations or speakers to come and share concerns or share whatever with us.
Yeah, I mean, we know we have watchers, so if anybody that watches later has any ideas to please contact. Obviously, we also have public comment for people, but yes, I agree. People need, I believe people like to be invited to, you know, to make sure that they understand that it's, yeah, the invitation, not just to show up for public comment. I believe that, yeah.
And we found out that we do have watchers. We were real excited. They don't watch like right now, but they watch later. That was super exciting.
I realize I should brush the back of my hair more often.
Oh my.
Okay, let's talk about subcommittee review. It's time.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion. I would like to make a motion to combine the outreach and profile committees, because I think that, you know, we did a lot of work in both committees, and now it's time that they can become one. That the outreach is raising the profile, you know, any program or whatnot that the outreach subcommittee does raises the profile of the commission. That's my motion.
My question is. Oh,
You're fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, we
Add it to our list.
we need to adjust the subcommittee membership if we do that.
Well, I can't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember what we decided on last time. But what,
I can tell you what we decided on last
Please
time.
tell me.
If it sounds good, we can do it again. We contemplated that Commissioners Iroje, Belton, and Otto would be on the new combined subcommittee, and then that would still be Commissioners Douglas and Hardesty would still be doing the policy subcommittee. So there's still everyone's involved in subcommittee work. And then the web design camp is still going to require all commissioners to volunteer and participate regardless. So it's not like just the subcommittee participants working on that. Events are going to be for all of us to be helping out with. We didn't decide on a name though. We couldn't completely decide what the new combined committee would be.
I'm going for Pro Reach.
Pro Reach.
It was a joke.
So that was
I'll file.
that was what we discussed. How is that sounding to folks?
Yeah, so you made the motion to combine.
I second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
So then so the motion passes that the profile and the outreach subcommittee will combine with Commissioners Otto, Belton, and Roger as the subcommittee, and we can decide on a name, TBD, or now, or?
Yeah, we need to decide it. Yeah, we need to just, if you all want to talk as a subcommittee.
Okay.
I was gonna say, couldn't it just be outreach? Yeah, I think outreach covers all that.
Okay, so profile moves into outreach. Yes, perfect.
Check in with the other subcommittee members, but yeah.
Roger and Belton are already on the outreach subcommittee, so they should be
They might like Pro Reach.
outreach or outfile. And who? Okay. Do we have any other things we'd like to talk about with subcommittees? Do we feel like outreach, policy, and data pretty much encapsulates whatever our work? Is there something that's missing? Do we have oversights? No, I don't.
So you're wanting the data subcommittee to continue? Okay.
Yeah, and I'll do that with you. I love a good survey.
All right, so Commissioners Hingle and Douglas will be the data subcommittee. Okay.
I'm gonna make us do some after May, not before May.
All right, so that puts us with policy, outreach, and data as our subcommittees for this year. Okay.
Obviously, everything can be amended. Okay, perfect. Then we have onboarding protocol, which for this, really, I think it's just, especially as we have a new seat and hopefully we'll have a new commissioner soon, thinking about how we want to onboard them, which I don't know, really, I guess isn't, I don't know why I put that there, but it was just a thought in my head about, I get so tired every time I join a board or a commission that there's no onboarding, and it just blows my mind sometimes.
So there's kind of logistical onboarding, like they need to get access to things that this commission uses, like the teams and that sort of thing. And they need to know when the meetings are happening and where they're happening and that sort of thing.
Well, we had the slide. I mean, I mean, there are documents that they should get. And I think for me, it's just a matter of writing. I mean, it's been so long that I really haven't reviewed that process in a while, but I think it's just, maybe I just did that for a reminder to me, for us to make sure we were all on the same page about that, about what, because I think with Commissioner Belton, I need to look and see what I did for her.
Okay. Is that something like, it is literally a document on Teams that you share with new folks when they come on? And we've looked at it before.
Yeah, and then
I
I
had
had
that whole PowerPoint.
I know. Yeah. That needed to be updated, and it just kind of got, I'm not like Molly Turner King was going to take a look at it. And
Oh.
so to help get through some of the, especially the legalities, you know, the open door laws and or whatever that may be. So I just need, this
So
is
and
just a
that's,
reminder.
that
to
was one of the
myself.
questions I had though, is that something we, as that we go over with new folks on the commission, or is that something that's part of like getting access to teams and, you know, which is not us doing that, that's other folks?
I just make sure it happens.
Yeah. So but explaining things about like the open door law requirements for the meetings and things, that's something that we would do?
Yes.
Okay. With the new commissioner.
I just remember she had that whole PowerPoint about that, and it's this onboarding situation is something that hasn't existed before, so it can be whatever we want it to be.
Right.
We know who's not going to do it, right? And so it's up to us to do.
Right.
And so, may I recommend that you send that PowerPoint to Molly Turner King and CC Commissioner Madeira?
Molly, when you're watching? Yes. Yeah. No, I just gave myself a note. So I just need to I mean, I know Molly would be happy to help.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think at the time, and this is, I don't even know when this was working on something herself or somebody else was for something. And so I just need to check back with them.
Yeah, and then I think with, you know, the structure that we have with subcommittees and things, that's also onboarding, but it's a different kind of level of onboarding about like what it is that we do as opposed to how we do it, you know? So.
Yeah, but
Well,
that's in
they
there
did-
too.
It was in the slide. There's also a packet, because you remember I did compile like all the work that had been done in the past. And yeah, there is stuff. I think in my head, I just needed to revisit it
Yeah.
so I could, you know.
Revive it. Just revive it, Susan.
Yes.
And is that like, I'm asking as vice chair now, is that like something that that the chair and vice chair would potentially work on together to fix up if it needs fixing up? I could see that. Yeah. So, you know, when you send it around, you can include me on that too, and we can just work on it if there's any recommendations for making changes to it. Okay.
And then the last one was recruitment. I think I just wanted to revisit that, just to remind us to always be looking. I know we have an empty seat. It sounds like Commissioner Madeira is on top of the 4 applicants, which in the past I haven't had before. Usually I vet the applicants. I get the applications, I vet the applicants, I see, and then I submit my recommendation. So I will probably also connect with Commissioner Madeira to discuss that. So.
Yeah, it sounded like she was basically doing these conversations and then wanting to have that all available for you or for all of us to be able to see. Yeah, so that's cool.
And in the past, before you did that, whomever the ex officio was, like, for example, Councilperson Crossley, since I'm a council appointed, Councilperson Crossley did my interview, right? So technically, I think that the different
Council versus commissioner.
applications, if somebody checks that they're a commissioner or a council appointee, then those two bodies are supposed to take care of that and then feed it to us.
Yes. Last time it worked the other way around.
Well, because no one was cared about us or was paying attention to us, so you did it
Yes.
for us. Yes.
Yes. I mean, obviously, we would do work for the commissioners, so it's nice that I also, as a body, also would like, not to have say, but to be mindful of who the applicants are and what their decisions are. or at least to be able to express our wishes, and maybe not the selection, but, we're looking to continue with, diversifying our commission.
And it
So-
sounded like she was, I mean, she's
Yes.
recording it and making those
Yes, yes.
interviews available to us, so.
100%.
Talking like I normally do. I won't, Julie, I promise.
Yes, because Julie has to record all this for the very last time this year, anyway. Does anybody else have anything that they would like to think about for this year, or a topic that we haven't, or we have touched on that they have been pondering that would like to bring back up again? Molly, been so quiet tonight. It's just my dream. You're like I can't get a word in edgewise around here.
No, I would double down on, watching the jail. I mean, that's and just the the state suing our sheriff. I mean, I want to show support for I think he's making decisions in the best way possible. So those are the things that I've been looking at. I mean, obviously reproductive rights as well.
Yes, thank you.
Especially with Jody now, I think she can give us some really great guidance on how we can have an impact or talking points in public. For me, I've been working with young college women, and they don't know what they're losing. So, I think for me but that's always a goal of ours, right? Like that's always been the underlying.
Well, and I like what Liz was saying, and having Liz, who's been here too, will be helpful in, fighting us with ideas maybe that they've tried and successes and failures or whatever, and, having educational events and, I mean, honestly, something that maybe we missed, not by, and it's what can we do about reproductive rights as a commission? How does that, what is the expectation? What is making sure that, I don't know, just trying to figure out what our role is in that, besides, I don't know, whatever. But, we had the health clinic close, and maybe that was something we missed in evaluating, and I don't know. Futures is a huge loss to the community, losing Futures is a huge loss to the community, and something that should be still addressed if it's possible.
It has been addressed. There's a new one. There's a new one open. There's a new clinic open.
How did
that
I
just
miss that?
opened.
It just opened.
Yeah,
recently.
like a couple, like 2 weeks ago or
County
something.
road?
I was told it was actually the same, or similar to. I don't know. I don't want to speak on record about what I think or what I. But anyway, there is a new clinic. Something else that I'm involved in through Hoosier Asian American Power, where we are partnered. We could do this type of work. We're partnered with another organization called Indiana Task Force, and we are bringing a free contraceptive vending machine to Monroe County. And we already have it. We're just looking for a place. So if anybody has an accessible place indoors, it cannot be outdoors because of the mechanics. And I've gotten a request that we place it somewhere north of town, because Planned Parenthood is downtown, but for people that are north of town, downtown is south of town, right? And this other clinic is on Curry Pie. I don't know, some pie.
The new one that opened?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Bloomington Family Planning Center.
Yeah.
It is located at 639 South Walker Street.
Yeah, so that is also not, so so from the north, I'm sorry, I'm getting slap happy. From the north, I've had a specific request that we look for somewhere to put this vending machine that's in the north because they feel they are not being served, and have the same accessibility to reproductive health care that downtown or south people do. So anyway, my point is that there are things out there that we can, partnerships out there that we're not shelling out any money. There's a grant, right? So it's just a matter of if this is work that we want to do, then we need to get involved in these coalitions and such, so we can do that type of work. But I really think that reproductive justice, thank you, Molly, for bringing it up, should be very, very close in line, at the top of the list of stuff that we pay attention to and that we make comment on, that we can provide education on, that we can support Tandem, that we can support this new clinic, we can Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
That's,
And the request for the vending machine, the reproductive health care vending machine, that you said that came through, was it through HAP that you were hearing about that?
It's through HAP that
Yeah.
we're doing that
Oh,
work.
you're doing that, okay, all right.
And I'm not going to say who I got the request from.
It was the HAP thing, I always wanted to double check that was
Yeah,
what it came out
HAP
of.
is
Yeah.
partnered with Indiana Task Force, and we're bringing that machine.
When you say that you're looking for a place, is this like a public retailer that would be willing to have it, or like what type, or?
Coffee shops, Hopscotch and Red Bud Books or Rose something books. They said they would be open to it, but it's too big for their space. And for efficacy, we want the machines, we want them to be the same machine as other counties have, because they've placed them in counties for like the logistic, how do you stock it? How do you maintenance it? How do you, or maintain it? How do you, that sort of thing. So we don't want to change the size unless we absolutely have to.
So you mean or is Ellettsville west? Are we thinking Ellettsville, or are we thinking the north side of Bloomington?
Oh no, I'm thinking north side of Bloomington.
Yeah, thinking who's underserved.
Can you tell me what the north side of Bloomington is, like regionally? Just north of 10th Street.
I think that'd be
okay.
great. That'd be safe.
Okay.
But anyway,
Yeah.
So, I really like that repro justice work, and I think that, and I'm already plugged in because of my other work, so it wouldn't be like, a huge lift for us to. What's available to us.
We do. Public comment? No? I don't see anybody on. That's so exciting. Anyway, okay. It is, I don't know what time it is. I call this meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.